catchy.
What's up, everybody? Jeff here from Studio Day Quarantine at the house. So I asked people what they wanted to talk about today, and it is amazing the number of you that all you want is mock drafts, which is great. Makes life easy for me. So now that you've done some work here on the Cowboys roster, we can do this thing again. I'm going to go 5 rounds because I'm not worried about the 7th round pick right now because the draft is still over a month away, so don't you worry about that. But I do have time to grind the tape over the next few days to get caught up. But I do have some mailbag questions from you guys. But first, let's just rock and roll a 5-round mock draft now that we have an updated belief in what the Cowboys need to do. So here we run out of mock draft, which, you know, you do the best you can in terms of mock drafts. And you're not going to find a perfect website because all of them can get quirky on you. But here you go. Joe Burrow 1, that makes total sense. Tristan Wirfs, Chase Young, Mekhi Becton, Tua, Jedrick Wills, Okudah, Andrew Thomas, Derek Brown, Isaiah Simmons. So it's all the right names. CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Herbert, C.J. Henderson, and Kayvon Chason. Look at that. You got robbed. They took 2 guys that I would consider right there at 15 and 16, but the name I did not see is Javon Kinlaw. So let's move it on over to the available players. And this is kind of why I like the trade down idea, because in this scenario, you guys might get mad at me for passing on a corner, but Javon Kinlaw is the highest guy left on my board, no doubt about it. I like Christian Fulton. I could pick him there. I like Jeff Gladney. I like Delpit and McKinney, but I don't like him at 17. So here we're going to be looking at, man, you guys are going to get so mad at me because it's going to be a little bit redundant because Gerald McCoy was signed to be a 3 technique and Javon Kinlaw is a 3 technique. You know what? I don't think I logged in, so I can't do trades. So we're just going to have to stick here and pick. So the secondary right now has Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, and Cheeto as your 3 starting corners. And they signed Maurice Kennedy. There's your 4th corner. They're going to need one more at some point. Do I have to do it now? No, I don't have to do it now. Am I worried about being redundant with Gerald McCoy? Not really, because his deal's not really a 3-year deal. So for me, what I have to do here, kill me if you want to. Don't kill me. But you can yell at me in the comments if you want to. I'm taking Javon Kinlaw because he's available and he's my best player available. Now, really, I should have logged in. Got a premium account here at the Draft Network. I should have logged in so we could trade down because in that scenario, I would think about it. But Kinlaw, I think at 17 is a really good value pick. There's a chance that he's the defensive tackle in this draft class that turns into a double-digit sack guy. Got good tools. All right. We're into the 2nd round for your Cowboys. Now, here is their rankings of players. Wow. If I would have known that I could let Kinlaw go and get Matabike in the 2nd round, I might have gone that route. But that's not where we ended up. I do like where we ended up, though, because you have Ashton Davis and you have Antoine Winfield Jr., so safeties are 2 of the best players available. Best corners available, according to them, are Jalen Johnson and Cameron Dantzler. Damon Arnett. I'm going to take him in the 3rd if he's there. We're going to do that. So, to me, this is pretty easy. I think there are names you could consider. Curtis Weaver, defensive end at Boise State. I'll consider him for sure at that spot. And this is why I wish that I would have been logged in so we could trade down, because you could have traded down a few spots. Maybe I still get Christian Fulton. Maybe now I have a couple of different picks where I could come out of this round with some maneuvering, and my draft would look like Fulton, my safety, Antoine Winfield, and maybe I can grab another one of the guys around this area that I like Curtis Weaver. I'm a big fan of Michael Pittman. I could take Michael Pittman there. Pittman and Winfield will be close on my board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you a safety. I'm going to take Antoine Winfield Jr. We're going to pair him up with Xavier Woods on the back end. I don't love the Cowboys corner group, but I can play with it. And I don't love the value of any of the guys there. Let's see. Oh, third round, I lost my guy. Oh, I lost all the corners. But that's okay. because I do see a name that I really, really like. So what have we already done? I already forgot. What have I done? Third round, Jalen Hurts or Jake Fromm. I know some of you will be fighting for that. Keep an eye on James Morgan. That's the day 3 guy that might have a chance to be an NFL starter at some point. Now, that's your quarterback options. What have I done? I took Kinlaw and I took Winfield. So ideally, I would be looking here at corners, edges, maybe even a wide receiver. Cornerback group, Troy Pride, Darnay Holmes, Amik Robertson. I like Robertson better than Holmes. Dane Jackson's the guy I'm going to take in every draft, either Dane Jackson or Reggie Robinson. So those are guys that I'm going to bring in to try to be my 5th corner and maybe double dip in this draft, but a little bit later on. The edge group here is good. Greenard's got a chance to turn into a really good NFL player. Darrell Taylor is my favorite out of this group. Bradley and Nye would be an interesting pick. So you've got at least 3 guys there that are legitimate guys you could pick for the Cowboys and think that they could come in. And I think Randy Gregory is going to be playing this year. So if I could find a guy who can play defensive end, and Darrell Taylor's probably more of a, quote, left end, but I also don't believe in that much anymore. Teams aren't as, my right tackle is not as good as my left tackle, or my right defensive end is the best pass rusher because he's coming from the blind side. Teams don't really do that anymore, so I don't care which type of end he is. We'll get some penetration from the inside, which will help. Alton Robinson is worth keeping an eye on. So we got edge names there for you. Wide receiver names, KJ Hill. He could start for you in the slot. So could Van Jefferson. Claypool, if you want to go big slot. They hate my guy, Juwan Jennings, which means I'll probably end up taking him. I think the best thing to do here, what do I have? I have KJ Hill in the 3rd round. I have Darrell Taylor in the 3rd round. I have Brian Edwards in the 3rd round. Duvernay in the 4th. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm going to save the wide receiver because since I'm looking for a slot guy, I think I can find a slot guy later. That's just the way that the world works. So I'm going to hold off on receiver. I didn't love the corners. That's what throws off every draft I do, because if this is real life and Akeem Davis-Gaither is going to be available, I'm picking him in the 3rd round. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to let those edges go. I'm going to pick my best player available because I got him as a 2nd round grade. So now we got Kinlaw, who is a 1st round grade. Winfield, I got graded as a 1-2. So a late 1st, early 2nd round guy. And now we got another guy who's graded as a 2 for me there in the 3rd round. And we cruise on. And we get to the 4th round. Let's take a look at the best available. Let's see all positions for a minute here. All positions. And what I'm looking at here, I already got my safety. I have not taken an edge yet. But free agency is also not over. They're going to sign a defensive end at some point. And they're going to sign a slot receiver. And they're going to probably sign another cornerback. And they're going to sign a safety. They're going to fill all of these holes. There's no way. No way, no how Jordan Elliott is here in the 4th round. So I'm not going to pick him because it's not realistic. We will keep in mind Leki Fotu, Utah defensive tackle. But, he's a mountain of a man that's hard to move. And he's got some athleticism on tape. So he might be able to develop as a guy who could pass rush you a little bit there. I would rather they go free agency to find the nose tackle. So let's check my wide receivers here. I've taken a linebacker, I've taken a D tackle, and I've taken a safety. I have not taken a corner. Duvernay in the 4th I like. Lynn Bowden is possible in the 4th there. I'm running out of receivers, so I'm going to keep Duvernay in mind right now. I'm going to check the corners. I keep coming back to, I'm a believer that Dane Jackson and Reggie Robinson are both NFL players, that they can both make an NFL roster, and maybe I can catch them swinging back around. So what I'm looking at is which guy that I'm interested in is least likely to be hanging around next round. And for me, that is going to be Devin Duvernay. So we are going to go Duvernay. I actually have Juwan Jennings higher than Duvernay. But am I doing this for me or am I doing this for you guys? You know, I like them both. Jennings would be your big slot, runs a 4.7, terrible combine. But he's like T.O. with the ball in his hands after the catch, just running over and through people. Broke 30 tackles on 59 catches last year. Duvernay is different. He's not a great route runner. He didn't have to deal with much press coverage. He caught a ton of screens. But he is a speed guy who can be a deep threat and hurt you after the catch in the screen game. Let's take Duvernay and just see what happens. And now we should have 2 fifth-round picks still coming up. We should have a 5th-round pick, and we should have a 5th-round comp pick. And so let's get to it. And the draft log. Let me see my picks. Let me make sure I don't forget. All right. Kinlaw. And remember, I would have traded down there. I probably would have. No, I think you should stick and pick if Kinlaw's there. I don't care that I have Gerald McCoy. You pick the guy who brings the best value, and I think that's Javon Kinlaw in that spot. So we take him. Could have taken Christian Fulton, too. I'm just telling you, I could have thought about it. All right, 5th-round pick. Remind me what I've done. Javon Kinlaw, Antoine Winfield, Davis-Gaither, Duvernay. So I'm looking at cornerback. I'm looking at defensive end. See if there's anybody that tickles my fancy at either of those here. Their top edges are Divinity, Wanham, and Garvin. We are not going to be pulling an edge out of this draft, ladies and gentlemen, so it'll be okay. They're going to draft a guy. They got Randy Gregory. This is why I want to trade down. I needed more picks. I do need to grab a corner. There's my guy, Dane Jackson, Pittsburgh. Check him out at the Senior Bowl. My guy was balling. So I picked him. And with the 5th-round comp pick, and keep in mind, because everybody's going to watch this, and they're going to go, oh, you didn't pick a defensive end, we're screwed. Most teams, when they're picking guys outside of the first 2 rounds, are going to miss on way over 50% of their picks. So don't pretend whichever guy I was going to pick was going to no doubt make the team and be a contributor. So I'm just trying to pick the best players here. And how many? Gandy Golden, are you serious? Juwan Jennings, are you serious? Those are 3rd-round guys for me. So you got Gallup, you got Coop. I got Duvernay now. You're still actually shorthanded at receiver, too. I could take one of them. Harrison Bryant, I have us at 2-3, so at this spot it'd be insane value. Let's do it. It's insane value, right? He didn't have a great combine. Maybe he will be a day 3 pick now. I like his tape, though. I really like his tape. All right, there you have it. Here is my picks. In the comments, let me know where I screwed it up. Make sure you're checking 1053thefan.com every day. I'll be churning out the content. And on Monday, I'll be back on. Where I'll be broadcasting from, it's a surprise. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube page and you got the notifications turned on so you don't miss anything. That's very important. And there's your draft class. Javon Kinlaw, Antoine Winfield, Akeem Davis-Gaither, super athlete, Devin Duvernay, Dane Jackson, Harrison Bryant. We did it. Appreciate you guys for sticking with me today. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. How about that? Sound good? Sounds good.